Hello and welcome back. We have got quite the remarkable day today, but it is warm, let me tell you. 32 degrees currently, 32 degrees, and we're not even in summer yet. So it doesn't bode well, but I'm trying to stay nice and cool. The humidity hasn't started yet, so that's really great. But today is the day. I have been saying it for weeks now that we were going to do just a really lovely cottage garden tour, and we're going to start that today. I think the format that we did in the last garden tour video worked really well, and so I think that that's what we're going to do for this video. So I'm actually going to split the tour into two parts. So first one we're going to do today is sort of the potting shed side and the little nursery side, as well as the sort of back cottage garden area. And then on Friday we will do the other side garden as well as the orchard area. I cannot wait to show you some of the, I mean, you can possibly see some of them already, but some of the remarkable, I think I've already said that today, but just I'm so excited. So many things have bounced back really well after the really hard prunes that we did together actually. And with this warmer weather, this unseasonably warmer weather, everything has just sprouted out, everything is blooming, it's looking so lovely, and yeah, I'm very excited to share it with you. There have been quite the number of triumphs as well as some wobbles, and I will share all of that with you. But today we are going to, as I said, focus on the potting shed and nursery side as well as this back cottage garden. And just for a little bit of context, in the event that you have not been subscribed for a while, I am in Australia. I live in the state of Queensland, and my gardening zone is a subtropical gardening zone. So all the plants that I have here and you know, my climate, all that kind of thing is all subtropical. So just to give you some frame of reference for your own gardens. And I will also say, if you have been subscribed, and if you are not subscribed and you are enjoying my channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you join my little YouTube community here. But if you have been subscribed for a little while, you will know how busy it has been over sort of the last 2 or 3 months. There's been a lot going on. There is still a lot to come. But because I've sort of been, you know, pulled in a million different directions, and my focus has really been on the orchard and getting that all set up and hopefully established before the really hot weather starts. Yeah, my focus has kind of been there, and unfortunately that has meant my focus has kind of moved away from kind of my normal gardening jobs. So the reason I'm telling you this is, as we walk around, there is weeds, there is deadheading that needs to be done, there is just, yeah, there is going to be a lot of gardening work that needs to be done, and I'm just prefixing this with, I show you very much the reality of my life and my garden. So this is just how it's looking at the current state. I've been busy, and my focus has been elsewhere. So without further ado, because I am very excited to get stuck in, let's head down to the potting sort of shed side and little nursery. There's just a few little things in there that I'd like to share with you. So this is the potting shed, potting table, nursery side of the garden. Everything down here is looking really well. The two ivies that I have, I think I mentioned a few months ago that they had started to struggle, and you can see that they had died off. But I don't know if that was just because it's winter, because I don't know if you can kind of make out, but it did just recently flower. And you can kind of see there are some flowers at the top. We've got new vines here. So I don't know if it's just now that the warmer weather is back, it will bounce back. I'm not sure. So I'm leaving it at this point, and we'll just kind of see how we go. But everything down here is looking really lovely. There's not been too many changes, so I won't go over this area too much. I desperately need to weed down here. But what I did want to show you, you will remember that I had started the Oriental lace cap hydrangea. I sort of just did a bit of a garden experiment, and when I was pruning it, just cut off 2 branches and basically stuck them in dirt and just to see if I could propagate from it. Well, I have had success. So you can see this here. This is what I have propagated from the lace cap hydrangea. Now it is looking, its leaves are a little bit droopy, and you can see down there there's sort of darker soil. That is because I've just come out here and watered it. So it needed a little drink of water. It has been an incredibly busy week, and as I've already said, quite hot. So I've only just had a chance to kind of come out here, pop around and water all of these pots. So it will bounce back definitely tomorrow, but I don't know if you remember how small it was. It was just this little tiny sort of cutting, and look at all of this new growth, all the leaves. It's getting branches out the side. So I'm unbelievably happy with how that has happened. Quite the triumph. I really enjoy the oriental lace cap hydrangeas. I'll show you one later in this video that is still flowering, by the way. Oh my goodness, she is just beautiful. And that's where I got the cutting for this from. But I really enjoy those plants. So I'm absolutely thrilled to bits that I'm able to propagate them fairly easily from cuttings. So I have to say I probably will do a few more cuttings and get them started. Probably now that we're coming into summer and we're getting this really hot weather, I probably will kind of wait a couple of months until we sort of start to cool down a little bit and head in towards autumn. But yeah, very, very happy with that. So I wanted to share that with you. The aloe vera is always great. These are always really great. I do have my hat on. It is very, very sunny and hot out here. These are all doing really well. This one here, I don't know if I've shown you this yet, but this used to be on top of here. So it was actually a really tall plant, and yeah, we just cut it off, popped it in the dirt, probably a month ago now. It's not died off, and again, it is looking a little bit droopy, but that's because I hadn't watered it. You'll see there's water in its little tray now. So hopefully it will bounce back, but all of these are just cuttings that I've, been propagating. And they're all looking really well. So if you have ever needed any encouragement to try propagating plants from your own garden, this is your encouragement. I'll be honest, not everything makes it. Some things just don't, and they die off, and that's perfectly fine, but you've not really lost anything. It's a plant you already had, you were pruning it, and so, one of the little bits that you've just pruned off, popping it in some spare soil and just see what happens. But yeah, these are all looking really good. Now, as always with these videos, what I will do is pop, as I'm walking around, I'm not going to go through every single plant individually because we would be here for days if I did that. So what I'll kind of do is, as we're walking around, I'll just kind of point out the plants that, I think are doing something truly spectacular at the moment. And then what I will do is, with those plants, I will put the name of the plants just down here on the screen, just so that if you're interested in those plants and you'd like to research them a little bit more for your own garden, you've got the correct spelling there and you could do a little bit of research on your own to see if it would suit your gardens. I am aware that I do have a little bit of an accent and that, people from all around the world watch these videos. So I just want to make sure that you have the right sort of wording for the plants in the event you're interested. So back out here, I'm just debating which way to go first. Maybe we'll whip down here first. I did really just want to quickly show you, you will remember we pruned these Malaysian orchids. They don't look like much now, but if you watched that video, you will remember how truly gorgeous they are. They're massive. And they'd just sort of gotten quite unwieldy. And so I filmed it and, you came along with me while we did it. We did an incredibly hard prune back. And I think maybe been a month ago, I think I was saying to you, I don't think this one's going to make it. I don't think it's coming back. And that's okay. And it was okay if it didn't make it. But I do want to just say, you can probably see here, it is definitely coming back. And she has growth all over. Had I known she would survive, I probably would have pruned her a little bit harder. As it is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take out some additional branches. So for example, like this one here, I think I'm going to take that out. These ones at the bottom I'll take out. This one here I'm probably also going to take out. They don't have any new growth on them or anything, and they kind of grow out here onto the pathway, which is just really inconvenient. But yeah, so she made it, the Malaysian orchid, both of them actually. I'll show you the other one in a minute, but I cannot believe they made it. They were dormant for quite a while. What else? All the grasses are looking really great here. Cascade lily pilly is looking beautiful with all of her colour. This is another one that we did a ridiculously hard prune back on. Now this one bounced back pretty much straight away. It was incredible actually. But as you can see, has come back stronger than ever. I do apologise for the shade. A little bit of shade still here, so it's making it a little bit difficult for you to see, but really lush. It actually probably needs a good pruning. Hopefully in a week or two the weather will cool down a little bit. I might actually do a little bit of a very light shaping prune on this one before it gets too hot. These are all looking really good. That one has also bounced back. This is the other Malaysian orchid, and as you can see, similar. She's got all of her little sprouts starting. Now we, oh gosh, which way will work better? We planted this and this one over here. These are the, I think it was the avant-garde hydrangea. Now they've both taken quite an interesting approach. This one here has not flowered, but has put on, I think it's doubled in size. All of these are all brand new over the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's only been a couple of weeks, but it's already put on so much growth. And I don't know, I'm just seeing if there is, no, I can't see any flowers. So this one has really focused on growth. The Mona White also flowered. You can kind of just see her end of season flowers here as well. She's definitely put on some growth, but I am a little bit worried about her. I think this area is maybe just still getting a little bit more sun than what she would like. Over the coming weeks, as we move closer to summer, the shade situation will change and she will get a little bit less sun. So hopefully that will make her happier. But this is the other avant-garde hydrangea. It gets a little bit more sun than its counterpart, and you can see here the leaves look a little bit burnt on the edges. Again, hopefully it'll get a little bit more shade coming up, but it has pretty much put on zero growth, but it focused on a flower, and you can see there a gorgeous flower starting. So I'm going to be very interested to see what colour that comes through as. I will keep you posted. So this bed's looking a little bit messy at this stage because you can still see a lot of the soil. But as all of this fills out into its spaces, that will all be hidden, and hopefully only in a matter of months, when this one comes back, that will fill this massive space as well. But everything is looking really nice in here. Oh gosh, I don't know if you could see that butterfly. Butterflies on the laniums here. Right, yeah, there it is. I'll walk around there in a moment and I'll show you those. Everything is just, I'm so happy with how everything is going. There are so many plants. I mean, as we walk around, there'll be so many times I say to you, oh, this has never looked this good, or this has never flowered this good. And it's just true. There has been so many plants that have done the best they've ever done this year. So I don't know if that's just they're older and so, you know, they're more established and so they're doing that, or whether, I don't know, whether the weather's just been really great this year, whether I've been providing them a little bit of extra care, who knows. But I'm so pleased with how everything is looking. So let's head around to the other side and let's go down to Rose Corner. Now, the first triumph that I wish to show you is this. Now, there's some deadheading, okay? just pretend there's no deadheading here. But you have all been on this climbing rose journey with me. You remember getting these when they were bare roots and I unboxed them with you. We planted them, we moved them. It's been a whole thing with these roses. But she had her first flower. You can just see it's just gone over now, but look at all of her buds. So I'm pretty sure this is the Sweet Laguna climbing rose. However, I thought the color pink was more of like a Barbie sort of pink, not this pale pink. So I'm not sure if when they've been planted there's been a bit of a swap and this is the Cinderella and the other one's the Sweet Laguna. I don't know now. So we'll have to kind of just wait and see with the other one what color the flowers are. It could just be that both of them are a really pretty pale pink. I'm more than happy with that. I have no problem with that at all. But just to show you, I'm so unbelievably happy with this. So as I said, this will be a climbing rose, but every single branch has got multiple buds. I mean, this one's got like a cluster of 6. Every branch. That one there's got 4, 2 over there, 3 here, 2 here. I mean, and more is starting. She is loving life here. These roses do have a fragrance as well. Very pretty, very delicate, quite like almost a fruity sort of smell. But I could not be happier. And I just cannot wait. In years to come, she will eventually climb up this tower. And imagine that, her all the way through this tower and then covered in those roses, those beautiful pale pink roses with that gorgeous scent. She's still very, very young. She's not even, I've not even had this. I think I got them, I'm trying to think, July. I think I got them in July, and then we planted them late July, August. So see, these plants are only very, very new, and already I didn't think that they would flower. I thought I'd have to wait, a year or 2 for them to flower. So I'm over the moon that they are flowering and that they seem really happy. But yeah, so that is what I believe to be the Sweet Laguna. Pretty much everything in Rose Corner is doing well. The multicolored roses here have got, you can see, I mean, that one's gone over, but we've got buds all through here. Plants looking so healthy. Ground cover roses are all looking really good. This one's here has got a little bit of a yellow tinge, which I'm not sure. I'm wondering if it's not getting enough water from the irrigation. There is an irrigation point just here, but I'm wondering if I need to run another line to kind of the middle here so that I can make sure all of this is getting water. The other really big change in this area that I am super, super happy with are these. They are incredibly, these are the can. I'll put the proper name on screen, but these are so hardy. This is a really difficult spot. They don't get a lot of water. They get full sun all day. I've tried a couple of different things here and nothing has done well. But these have been flowering for weeks now. And the white is really fresh. I think it goes so lovely in this area. We've kind of got a fair few like pale pinks, pinks and oranges. That's a pale, that ground cover rose there is a pale pink. Whites. It's like a pale apricot. This one here is an apricot and this one here will be a pink. So the white really goes, and obviously you've got this rock wall behind with this climber on it with all of these. Hopefully it comes across on camera, but all of these gorgeous little tiny pink flowers. I just think this whole corner is looking incredible. But yeah, so they were such a good buy. I wish I'd bought more of those. I'll show you where I've planted them elsewhere in the garden, and yeah, you will be amazed. This is, gosh, the sun. So this one here is a separate rose, but this one here is what I believe to be the Cinderella rose. So we'll have to wait and see, but similar. She has also got, I don't know if it helps if I stand in the shade, if I shade it. You can see she's got all little buds started. There's another one down there. There's another one just here. So we will know soon enough what colour her flowers are, and I'll be able to kind of, yeah, confirm that if that's the Cinderella and the Sweet Laguna, and they've just got a very similar kind of bloom. They were both always going to be pink, so I would actually prefer it if they were like a paler pink. So yeah. Anywho, we will wait and see. The other very exciting development, let's got distracted by that little butterfly down there. But the other, as I was saying, exciting development. I'm going to zoom in. Hopefully you can make this out. Can you see these branches here? And then all of this greenery. Let me just go to this side. Maybe that's a little bit better. So all of this here, you'll recall I relocated, or I should say my garden gentleman relocated the very established red crepe myrtle, and I have to say we probably did it at a good time. She was still dormant when she was relocated. I didn't think she would survive the move. Her roots were really established and we had to cut off a fair number of them to move her. But look at her now. So happy. She gets full sun here, which she didn't get in her previous position, so I think she is over the moon. And I'm so pleased that she bounced back from her move. There's quite the gap here, like between these trees, so she will have the complete skyline there to herself. And if you've been subscribed for a little while, you'll know she gets incredible large red pom-pom flowers, and that's probably a couple of months away now, but I cannot wait to see this whole area like full of those big red flowers. So yes, quite the triumph there. Very happy about that. Indian hawthorn is just about done flowering. This is another one of those white. We've got one there and one there. And sorry, and both of these are in fairly small pots. They don't get a lot of water and they are doing exceptionally well. They have flowered non-stop since they've been planted. I'll just take you up here. Pretty little pink flowers. Ooh, the bees are out and about. I'm sure they are loving this weather. If you're not familiar with this beehive, this is my Australian native beehive, and it's just an adopted beehive. I've had it for probably a good 8 years now, and they just, yeah, they live in my garden. They don't, I don't get honey, or they obviously produce honey for themselves, but I don't get any honey from them. But yeah, they're just so delightful to have in here and watch, and they pollinate all the flowers for me and all the fruits and that. Would you look at that? Isn't that incredible? It's such a bright white, which is so pretty, and it seems like it's put on a fair amount of growth, and we've already starting to get that very pretty draping over the pot. I can't wait for sort of another couple of months when it kind of drapes all the way over the pot. I think that's going to be incredible. Yeah, I wish I bought more of these. So hardy and heat tolerant. That is what I need. Hardy and heat tolerant. Water features going and all the sunshine. The little prince flowers are pretty much almost done. But I'm taking you up here and I think I might have missed it, but I'm taking you up here to flip you around and show you the wisteria. Now, this is one of those times when I'm going to say to you, she has never looked this good, and I don't know if you can make it out over there, but she got her very first, can you see it? Her very first flowers just here. So she's actually had the flowers for a little while now. So I will add on screen what those flowers look like. A little while ago, I took a little bit of, I took a video footage of it because I was wanting to show my mum, and I was like, oh my God, she's got her first flowers. So I'll put that on screen now just so you can get a really good close-up of the flowers. That is her first ever flower. We've had this wisteria for maybe 3 years now. I know people say it takes years for them to get, you know, established and for flowers to start. So I am very happy that she has started to flower. That is quite the triumph, if I do say so myself. I'm conscious this video is going to be very, very long, so I won't go up the pathway here, but everything is looking super lush, and you can see that these are lily-pilly cascades. You can just see that they're really starting to fill out now and sort of cover this back fence. So eventually we'll get that really gorgeous kind of green wall at the back of the property. Now, the other thing, the little random thing I wanted to point out was this. So this is the snack capsicum that I've had. This is going into its 2nd year now. Now, I was told that snack capsicums were an annual and that they only lasted about 12 months, if that. If you were lucky, you got 12 months. Well, this here is all dead, but I would like to draw your attention to this situation down the bottom. It has got all new sprouts. Would you look at that? All new sprouts. So here I am moving the poor little snap capsicum out to pasture over here to, like, you know, live out its remainder of its days, and it's just thrown out all new growth. Cannot believe it. It's 2 years now. I actually harvested a snap capsicum off it the other day and ate it in my omelette for breakfast. Oh, I just, yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. The ginger and turmeric pots that we planted together a few months ago, still fairly quiet, which is completely normal at this time of year. Cannot get over that. Unbelievable that it's coming back. These are looking very nice. Phew. Oh, bless me, I've just sneezed. Apologies. But these look really nice, and they've already, as you can see, they've started to sort of spread out and fill this space. So once this sort of fully leaves back out, this is going to be very, very pretty. And that's what I mean, once this leaves out, it will actually provide a fair amount of shade for this one that's getting a little bit burnt at the moment. So yeah, everyone just kind of needs to hang in there until the garden's a little bit more established into the season. Just coming over here, everything in here that we planted quite recently is looking really nice. I've got some deadheading to do here. And let me bring your attention to this situation. Look at this. So these were kind of, and I say this lovingly, but they were kind of throwaway roses. They were roses that had started to die in another location in the garden. And before they were thrown away, kind of just thought, we've got some space, let's just pop them in here and see what happens. And look what has happened. Not only have they got all additional leaves, but we've got flowers. And it's such a pretty sort of pale peachy apricot colour with that yellow centre. Cannot believe it. So pretty. These are mini roses. So they just stay very small and compact. everything else is looking really good. The bees are loving the 2 salvia plants. So it's all, I mean, I don't know if you can see that bee on there now, but always having a lot of bees on here, which makes me so happy. Oh, there he is over there. Can you see him? Her, I should say, not him. Her. Yeah, so they've established very well. I had worried a little bit, but salvia is notoriously quite hardy, so they're looking really good. Battle Perfections are looking okay. This is the salvia that broke. Quite a significant chunk of it broke off in the planting process. But it's all got new growth here and all sort of flushing back out with new blooms. So that is going to be just gorgeous. Like, look at this here, and you can see more here, all new. Another one here. I've got deadheading to do, and then all around here, all new blooms. Ugh, lots of weeding to do in there. This is another little cluster of mini roses. You can see all the blooms. Look how petite and sweet these are. Look how tiny. Aren't they just so sweet? All looking really good here. Just at the back, the 2 lily-pilly cascades we planted to kind of continue that green wall, both doing unbelievably well. The trumpet vine, I shall step back so you can kind of get the full effect. We did this together, what, maybe 2 months ago now? She is very happy. She's just finished her full flower, so she has these gorgeous orange trumpet-like flowers, which is why it's called a trumpet vine. And as you can see, we put in these additional trellises for her. There's another one on the other side, and she is already starting to climb all over it. She only finished flowering maybe 2 weeks ago. So what I will do is try and remove, now that she's finished, try and remove some of this bulk and try and push her on or cut some of it back, just so it's not sticking out so far. And then she's kind of got the, if I can, that's the other one down there. And she's kind of got that free rein then to go all the way across. The saga of the pumpkin vine continues. I did a massive prune of it. You'll remember that it was going all the way down there. Well, I cut all of that off just because that vine didn't seem to be doing particularly well. And it's produced all, this is literally this week, can I just say. So last weekend, I cut all of this back and then completely rewound it, gave it a huge prune. It was looking really nice. And just in the last like 3 days, all of this growth has happened. It's because of the warmer weather, everything's growing so well, which is, you know, brilliant, and I'm very, very happy about that. But gosh, you really need to keep on top of your gardening, otherwise it goes a bit wild. But just to show you, it is still producing a large number of pumpkins, and then we've got a few more up here, but none of them seem to be holding. I'm not sure why. I have to say, the flowers, the pumpkin, like the flowers, these flowers, like the pumpkin flowers, seem to open, but none of the other sort of males, that's the female flower, none of the male flowers seem to open. So I don't know. While I have really, really enjoyed having the pumpkin, and I've really enjoyed having sort of this growth up and around the kitchen garden bed, I'm going to be honest with you, it is a heap of work. A heap of work. It grows so quickly, and at the moment it's a lot of work and I'm getting no pumpkins. I enjoyed having it there as an experiment, particularly through the colder months when other things weren't growing. It was just really nice to have some greenery out in the kitchen garden bed. But now that everything's shooting up and it's prime planting season, I reckon I'm going to give the pumpkin maybe another 2-3 weeks, and if all of these pumpkins that are currently on there drop off, and none of them are viable, I think I might just pull it out and just call the end of this experiment. And you know what, maybe my climate just isn't suited to pumpkin growth. Maybe I planted it at the wrong time of year. I'm not sure, but I could actually be growing other things up there. What I would like to be growing up there, which I'll show you in a moment, is my cucumbers, because they are going wild, and I think that they would do really well in that spot. But obviously, because the pumpkin's there, the prime real estate is currently occupied. So yeah, I might give it another 2 or 3 weeks, and then if it's just not, you know, not doing anything, I'm just gonna, yeah, take it out. The other exciting triumph, I don't know how I can show you this properly, is the strawberries. So can you see? Hopefully you could see that. That's quite a high hanging pot. This one's a little bit easier for me to show you. You can see I've got all the little pink flowers in there, but I've also got a number of white ones, and they've all got their little strawberries already starting on them. So I'm keeping up my water, keeping up my fertilizing, and I'm very hopeful that I will have my first little crop of strawberries in maybe a matter of weeks. Again, I'll share all of that with you and sort of how I go. I am worried about this unseasonably warm weather, and that it might upset them. So anyway, we'll wait and see. Everything in here is looking slightly messy because I've not had time, but the kale, I'm still eating all the kale and it's still looking great. The brown onions, my goodness, look at the size of them. Can you see? Like, look how big they're getting. Goodness me. I mean, they're massive in there. So we will be getting some onions definitely out of that lot. Beetroots are kind of going. These are the tomatoes that sort of held over all winter. You can see we've got a few tomatoes on there that I need to harvest today. I'll try and pull those off. I've been eating tomatoes for weeks. I will say I am pretty unhappy with this structure now. I think it's just had its day. It was really good last year, I think, and the year before, but it's not supporting the I was gonna say pumpkin. It's not supporting the tomato plants very well. So the next time I'm at the garden centre, it is on my list to start looking for something else for here, like for tomato support. So I'll be doing a little bit of research on that, but I will swing back around and harvest these things. Everything's looking really good here. I still don't know about this pineapple. That was another experiment that we did, so I don't know. It's not died, but I don't know what the red leaf tips mean. We'll see. I did my longevity spinach, actually went to flower, which is, yeah, you don't really eat it when it has the flowers on. So I did a massive prune back, as you can see, and already this one, so this one here was pruned just like these, and look at all the growth. That was last weekend. That is how much it has grown in a week. Crazy. Longevity spinach. Just, yeah, grows like a weed. The leeks are doing really well. Broccoli's pretty much done now. I'll be honest, I probably would never grow broccoli like this again. These were like, oh, here we go, there's the label. Let me show you this label. Can I get to it? Yes, I can. So these are broccoli baby. I would never grow them again because it didn't, like, each plant produced one little tiny broccoli floret. That's it. So like for a meal, normally, you know, you might have 4 or 5 little broccoli florets, right? Like per person. You'd have to plant an entire bed of, anyway. Anywho, happy to have had them for the greenery purposes, but I wouldn't plant them again. There is in here, I don't know if you can really, oh, it's connected. Oh, let go. I had a spare, oh gosh, it's attaching itself to everything. I had a spare, oh, he's not tall enough yet. I had a spare cucumber, so I just planted it in there in the hope that I could eventually run it across this wire. There's a little one in there. Garlic seems to be struggling. I don't know if that means it's ready for harvest. I might have to pull one out and just see. There's only 4 there, so I shall see. Spring onions are always amazing. One of my favorite crops and one of my most useful crops. These are the cucumbers that I was talking about earlier. So I've got all of these cucumbers in here. I've got maybe 3 or 4 in here, and this little fella over here. I need to tie them up onto this pole, but I would have preferred to have put these where the pumpkin is. It just would have been a better location for them and a little bit more out of the way. They would have got more sun, all that kind of thing. So yeah. Anywho, they're there, they're doing really well. Lots and lots of flowers on them. I'm sure I'm going to be getting cucumbers very soon, which will be delicious, and I'm super happy about that. I just need to kind of spend a little bit of time in the kitchen garden bed, just tying things up, doing a little weeding, pulling out the bits and pieces that have gone over. Everything else here is doing, these are just so pretty this year. They've never done that well. Everything's looking nice in here. The temple bells, almost over. She has looked spectacular for months. Such an incredible ornamental feature to the garden. So happy with that purchase. But yeah, in the summer, she's just almost gone over now. Wait again for spring next year. And then this is the oriental lace cap hydrangea that I was showing you, that I took the cutting from. That's this plant here. She has never looked this good. She has never grown this much in a year. She has never produced this number of flowers. She's loving life. The night jasmine that we did the really hard prune back on, as you can see, completely bushed back out. It won't be long before I need to give that a good prune back. Some of the transplanted roses, I probably need to get the hose out and just give them a little bit of a hose. The double impatiens that we purchased at an absolute steal at the garden centre because they were in need of some TLC, have looked, this entire time they've been spectacular. They have not stopped flowering, and I really like the white. I think that that's so pretty, and can you see they're a double flower, so they're really ruffly. You see, like a real ruffly impatient, which very, very happy with. Laniums there looking gorgeous. So this one here looking really pretty. They do look a little bit messy when the flowers sort of drop off the impatiens, but it doesn't worry me. But they've not stopped flowering. And then the piece de resistance. The white crepe myrtle has just started to branch back out. Oh, that's literally this week. I only saw it this morning. I've had a very busy week, and so I've not been getting home until dark every night. So today is sort of the first day I've been out here in the daylight hours, and yeah, like I said, last weekend, nothing. I actually took a hard look at her and was like, oh, I hope she's okay. But look at that. Very soon she'll have all of her gorgeous branches out, and then so I showed you the red crepe myrtle. This is a white crepe myrtle, so, and she's in a standard, so you can kind of see this is a standard when it's kind of like got the trunk and then the like the tree kind of at the top. she gets these incredible big white pom-pom flowers. They're exceptional. Cannot wait to share that with you when she starts to flower in a couple of months. But yeah, absolutely she's always late. The red, for whatever reason, whatever the variety is of the red crepe myrtle, she starts to branch back out like a good month and a half earlier than this one. And it's one of those things, because they're deciduous trees, they lose all their leaves in winter, and we do this really hard prune back. I find it remarkable that, please subscribe to my channel, because I want you to see this, and then I kid you not, in like a month or two's time, I will show you this exact tree again, and she will have like a meter and a half long branches. And that rapid growth, I find that so incredible. I mean, obviously I've got lots and lots of plants here and everything grows and all, but to this extent, like, it's similar to how you would get vegetables and things, like how the pumpkin grows so quickly, or their cucumbers. But I guess it's just those deciduous trees, because they've got a shorter window of time, you know, for their yearly cycle. They grow so quickly. It's really incredible to see. So very, very happy with that. And the other one, you'll remember, it broke my heart, but I had to prune back the Peace Baby. Look at this. Look at her. She gets those really just sensational, massive white flowers with the little pink centers. Well, it will not be too far. I mean, look at all of that growth on the branches. Oh, she's gonna look so pretty. Oh gosh. All right, well, we have done quite the thorough tour of sort of that little side garden as well as this back garden. I have been able to share all of my exciting news with you. I hope you enjoyed watching it all. I hope you kind of just enjoyed pottering around and having a little look and seeing what's happening in the garden. But as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to end this video here. And then on Friday, we'll kind of come back and we'll do the side garden, the sun deck area, and we'll head into the orchard. I've got some unbelievably exciting news to share with you in the orchard. Oh gosh. So yeah, I'm going to bid you farewell now. Thank you so, so much for joining me. And I'm going to see you on Friday for another really just fun, exciting little garden tour.